Welcome to Group 2's PBLB for Assessment for Adult Learning AED 4110. This presentation is brought to you by Viri Bruto, Alicia Edwards, Diana Fletcher, and Leanne Forsyth. For her next project with College of Excellence, Miss Educator requires an assignment for her students to demonstrate their understanding of the following course objectives. Describe the goals of assessment and related principles of sound assessment. Apply principles of sound assessment to adult educational and online contexts. Select, create, and justify which assessment methods are best suited to particular adult education learning goals and teaching strategies. Apply digital technologies that support assessment processes. Analysis questions. Why do we need to gather evidence of learning? How can we use effective assessment methods in an adult education environment? Yeah. This assignment, which is to be done individually, is to create a concept map where the learners will reflect on their learning experiences based on their previous knowledge and newly constructed knowledge throughout this course. The concept assignment was chosen because it is an effective visual tool that represents the learner's acquired knowledge throughout the course and also indicates what the learner still needs to know. The learners are to use one of these suggested links on the right, provided by Miss Educator. All four of the digital concept mapping tools were reviewed for their suitability to an online adult classroom environment. Coggle was ultimately selected for its affordances and visual appeal. Coggle is a digital mapping tool that works in the user's browser, meaning that the user does not need to download or install any applications to get started. Another affordance is that users may collaborate on projects in real time, or on their own time from wherever they are. Learners are to consider the following criteria in the selection and design of their map. Key concepts are clearly identified. Principles of sound assessment are applied in their reflection. Connections between important concepts are clear. The learners are to post their completed concept map PDF in the class discussion board by 11:59 p.m. on March 27th. What is a concept map? A concept map helps organize and share information in a visual format. It starts with a main idea, branching off into subtopics that stem from that main idea. Process of making the concept map. At stage 1 in the process of making our concept map, key concepts were identified. Assessment methods were broken down into formative methods of peer assessment, discussions and breakouts, board posts and feedback, summative methods of presentations, individuals and group, PBLs, reflection papers, wikis. At stage 2, we applied the principles of assessment. Assessment should not be seen as a chore or a burden. Assessment is an ongoing process of evidence gathering of student learning. The goal of assessment ultimately is to improve student learning. Assessment tasks assess the capacity to analyze and synthesize new information and concepts. Assessment is treated by staff and students as an integral and prominent component of the entire teaching and learning process. Assessment tasks are designed to assess relevant generic skills as well as subject-specific knowledge and skills. There is provision for a student choice in assessment tasks and weighting at certain times. Assessment tasks are checked to ensure there are no inherent biases that may disadvantage particular student groups. Some challenges with applying sound assessment: lack of experience, perceptions and preconceived notions, and implementation. At stage 3, and our final stage, we made new connections between important concepts within our map design. There is a clear alignment between expected learning outcomes, what is taught and learned, and the knowledge and skills assessed. There is a closed and coherent curriculum loop. Reflection papers and wikis are just some examples on our concept map where the connection between outcome and learning are seen. Concept maps are very much like connect the dot puzzles. In connect the dots, lines are drawn to connect the dots to reveal the outline of an object. A concept map is similar in that when lines are drawn to connect the ideas, the learning is revealed. This is a copy of the rubric for this assignment. Miss Educator's rubric lists what needs to be included in the student's concept map in order to receive a certain mark. The rubric provides transparency and consistency for Miss Educator to justify the grade that was assessed. Students may also use the rubric as a checklist to evaluate their own work before submitting. Miss Educator will be assessing whether the map makes connections between key concepts that are central to the course objectives, the overall design and organization of the map, and finally, the structure and mechanics of the map. As we head into our class discussion, consider the following synthesis questions. Did you find this assessment assignment project interesting and or challenging? Why? Did the learning experience confirm, challenge, or change your understanding of sound assessment? Future applications of this learning. Where do we go from here? This concludes our presentation. Thank you for watching.